All right, friends, welcome back to another episode of Keeping Your Real Estate Business on Track. Today, we're talking with someone who brings a fresh perspective to real estate, but with deep roots here in Brevard County. I'm sitting down with Magen, an agent with Epique Realty, who's hitting the ground running and using her background in wedding and event planning to bring serious structure, service, and strategy to the buying and selling process. Her eye for detail, client experience, and process management are already helping her stand out in a competitive market. Whether you're looking to buy or a realtor who's looking to level up your business, this episode's for you. Thanks for joining us today, Magen.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you. So the podcast world doesn't realize that we have a history together. Yes. We used to work in event planning and weddings. Mm-hmm. What got you to make the change into real estate?
So I think I've always been interested in real estate since I bought my first house in 2016. So I would say that was the first eye-opening to the real estate industry. And then in 2020, when events kind of halted, was when I started doing marketing for some local agents. And I actually had been interested, I would say, more in 2018 and then 2020. So in the end, I fell in love with the industry, the people, and the process. That's really important to me. So I was like, okay, you know what? I can do this, and I feel like I can do this, make the client experience, something special. So
yeah, it definitely translates in the fact that both are big life experiences. Yes. So tell me a little bit about how your background in weddings and event plannings translates into helping your clients have a good customer service or good experience in real estate.
So I think the biggest thing is you're dealing with people and pressure in both industries. Weddings and events are extremely expensive. It involves a lot of personalities. Real estate is a huge transaction, probably the most expensive transaction of their life. It also involves a lot of people. So managing expectations is very important to me. And I think in the event industry, you're kind of thrown into the fire. It's hospitality. We all know the reputation of the hospitality industry. And just making sure that I'm always one step ahead of the clients. As you know, unfortunately, things go wrong during events, and you're always having to put out fires. And so that's the same with real estate. I never want my client to feel like they're in the dark. I want them to know what's coming up, what to expect. And then if there is something that potentially happens, I want to make sure that I'm not getting them involved unless I have to, and putting that out before they even know. Yeah. So, I think
awesome.
That really, of course, there's parallels for sure.
Certainly. You talked about managing expectations too.
Yes.
I think that's imperative in real estate transactions. What kind of systems or processes do you put in place to help clients have a smooth transaction?
So before I even got started in real estate, I knew that I wanted the process. There's a lot of first-time home buyers. Even if you've purchased a home, there's some people that purchase all the time, every couple of years. There's some people that may be in the same house for 30 years. And then, so they're not used to the experience, really. They kind of forgot, how that felt when they first purchased their home. So for me, I wanted them to know every single detail that could happen. Of course, we know things are going to change and not everything is going to be the same, but I knew that I wanted to set up systems and processes from the beginning. So I really utilized my CRM system. From day one, the first conversation, they're going into that, and I'll put little tags. So I always want it to feel personal, and I want to make sure that I'm learning about them. Not just, asking all these real estate questions. Do you have a dog? Do you have kids? What is the reason for your move? All of that is so important. So I always put tags so that later when I come back, if I'm following up with them, I can add in those personal touches. I also send a client form. It's very in-depth, and I send them a little coffee card and tell them, hey, because coffee is part of my brand. It's a huge part. I love coffee. So I always tell them, grab a coffee, fill out this. I want to know as many details as possible. I don't want it to be stressful, but this will help me help you in the end. I also have guides and workflows for every part of it. I don't automate my emails, but I have all of the emails with all of the details. So I just go in and tweak them so that they're perfect for each individual that's coming
awesome.
through. Yeah.
I think that also builds trust with clients. And as many people know, trust is huge in the
Yes.
real estate industry with your clients, with your business partners. What are some other ways that you like to build trust with your clients from day one?
So I think confidence is a big deal. So for me, I love to learn. I love to research. Of course, we know just with anything, I mean, back to events, my degree is in event management, but they didn't teach you about wedding planning, and that was my first job. So I took a certification course. And that's the same with this. I mean, I'm constantly learning, putting myself in rooms that maybe I don't belong in right then, but that's the only way that you learn and grow. And so for me, building, confidence in myself and knowing that I'm giving them the best client experience, I believe builds trust. And also showcasing lifestyle. That's a huge thing for me, is my social media. I really want to showcase the lifestyle of here so that I'm living it. I'm not just telling you, hey, come to Brevard, it's great. I'm showing you why it's great. So.
Yeah, and Brevard definitely is great. I think you do a wonderful job of doing that. So marketing is a big part of getting noticed. What kinds of things are you doing to get your name out there?
So for me, marketing is all about connection. When you're scrolling Instagram or social media, for me, the number one thing that stops my scroll is going to be relatability. So when I created my social media, I knew that was going to be a big pillar for me in marketing. And I wanted anyone who came to my page to picture themselves there. So whether you already live in Brevard, maybe it's introducing you to something new that's in the area, or it just makes you proud to call, Brevard home, versus somebody who's possibly relocating here. I want them to see what life could look like on the Space Coast. So for me, social media is really about that connection, and it also builds trust because they're seeing that I'm actually living in the community and what I'm doing in the community. So I think that it builds connection and trust.
Yeah, you're a real person that lives here, works here, plays here.
Exactly.
So I'd also love to know about if there's any moment throughout any transaction that you've had where you just had a moment that was like, yes, this is why I love doing this. Can you tell us a story about that?
Yeah, so I would say there wasn't an aha moment. It's little things sprinkled in. So walking in when I'm showing a home and just seeing the look on the first-time home buyer's face, and they just told me that they're having a baby, and I get to say, oh my gosh, this would be perfect. They've never owned their own home before, so they don't realize that having a bedroom with the TV right next to their room or right next to the nursery is going to wake the baby. Just showing them little things and saying, oh my gosh, this would be great for the Christmas tree right here, and just allowing them to experience, I think, and seeing that excitement. And even the person who's downsizing or relocating here and doesn't know the area, and showing them and just seeing that, hey, I could picture myself here. Maybe this was a little scary, but now that I'm here, I love this neighborhood and I love the people that are here. And so I think all those little moments sprinkled in have made me thought, this is what I'm meant to do.
Yeah.
I'm meant to guide and help people fall in love with our area.
Yeah. Speaking of guiding people, if someone were to be buying or selling right now, first time, what's one piece of advice that you would give them to start the process?
I think the first thing that I would say is, well, I guess if you said real estate, get pre-approved. That's the biggest thing, because you can't even go to search an area or anything if you don't know what you can afford. And you would not want to be in a situation where you fall in love with a place and you just simply cannot afford it, and then you're disappointed.
I always love to finish by asking, what is your favorite place to visit in Brevard County? It can be anything. It could be local shops. It could be restaurants. But what's your favorite place to visit?
I would say Patina & Co. It's a coffee shop in Cocoa Village, and I swear it's part of my brand. I am not affiliated at all, but I could take stock in the place. I go there multiple times a week. So I just love it. I love the vibe of it. back in the day, I used to say that I would love to have like a coffee and flower shop, and that's what it is. So it makes me happy. I love to bring clients there. I love to I do coffee pop buys for my clients, and that's one of the places that I like to bring it from.
I have been there before, and it is adorable.
It is.
So
It's
if
so
you
cute.
haven't had the opportunity and you're in Cocoa Village, definitely check it out.
Yes.
So hopefully you guys got something from this podcast that you can share with a friend that's looking to buy or sell. And for anybody that hasn't joined us, like, subscribe, and tune in next time.